Alright, hello YouTube. Just kind of figured this would be a pretty good first video as far as videos go for YouTube posting. Just my overall knife collection. Sheaths are right there. Let's go down the line here. Got my Raja 2. By far one of the biggest, scariest, most intimidating ass knives I've ever had. Bring this thing out of the pocket with that wave feature. Whichever guy's trying to mess with you is going to shit his pants. Alright. This right here. Cold Steel Recon 1. Clip point blade, because I think it actually does have, more belly, more EDC purposes, whereas the Tonto point is more of a self-defense, more of an attack type blade style. The thing is, I hopefully do not plan to do any damage with this, although you definitely could. Trust me, I have scars from this thing where I have accidentally dropped it. It does damage. I love it so much. And this is my Kershaw rake. I love this knife. Made in USA. It's two steels fused together. I'm not going to go into depth with that. You can go look it up on the Kershaw site, kershawknives.com if you want. And this right here is a collaboration between Bradley Knives and Kershaw Knives. It's the Bradley Gamora 2 with the DLC coating. Terrible ass lighting. I don't know if you can even appreciate how beautiful this thing is. Came very sharp. I love this knife so much. And then some of my EDCs. We're going to go in. I've had this knife for about 3 years. Beat the crap out of it. And I still love it. Sharpened it so many times. I don't even know. Hold on. Sharpened it so many times. I actually had to re-profile that tip a little bit because it got so damn dull. Now it's kind of like a clip drop type point thingy. Brown handle FFG. Full flat ground for those of you who do not know. Spyderco Delica. Yet again, one of my favorite EDCs out of my actually somewhat sad knife collection. Love this. VG10 steel, full flat ground, sharp as you have no idea. And I love it. I love this. So nice. Big ass Spidey hole too, so you can definitely get your thumb in there. Functional jimping. Spyderco H1 steel. This is the Pacific. No, this is actually the Salt 1, the smaller version. Better jimping actually than that. Really thin ass handle. For those of you who are thinking about getting this knife and you hate thin handles, don't get it. This handle is like paper thin. It was almost uncomfortable. I should kind of get used to this. I would post a review on how far the rust resistance goes after I get back from North Carolina, where I will be testing this out in the ocean. Woo! My left-handed, if you can notice that, left-handed, because I'm a lefty. Spyderco Military. Awesome knife. Alright, hold on. Also made in America. It is CPM S30V steel. Made in USA Earth. Ugh. Glad to know that none of these knives are from Mars, because that's definitely an issue. 2 SOG throwers. There used to be 3. If you can see that case up there, there's 3 holes. But I lost one of them in the leaves while throwing because I suck ass at it. Just going to point that out. My friend Zombinator 100 will probably attest to the same thing. I cannot throw a knife worth a damn. But, still kind of cool. K-Bar Next Gen. One of the most comfortable knives I've ever held in my hand. This thing came sharp. I then sharpened it, touched it up a tiny little bit. This thing is now, in my eyes, perfect. I love it. Nice butt cap. So, if you're trying to get somebody, come over this way. Maybe you miss or something comes at you, can just come up. I love it. This isn't the leather handle that they use on some of their older styles. It's more of a synthetic, so it's not going to hold water or deteriorate on you, which I think is really cool. And this is actually, the next generation is stainless steel, but I have not found that to be an issue. This is my tiny, one of my favorite knives still. Victorinox. I use this more than just about every knife here combined because it's so tiny, and no one deems it necessary to call the cops when you break this one out. It's got your toothpick, tweezers, nail file, and scissors. This is one of the first knives I ever owned about 3 years ago. It is a crappy little CCC I got from TrueSwords.com. And if you're wondering why it is duct taped and why there's also a sheath there, it's because the handle completely broke. Yes, it fell apart. So I put it back together, and as you could probably imagine, the hardware on this thing is so cheap that it is totally deteriorated. So I just tightened it, Loctited it, took it to I don't know if you can see the differentiating, angles on that edge. I took it to a grinding wheel. Try and reprofile the stupid thing. Took it to a grinding wheel, then a sharpening whetstone. It's not all that bad, actually. It's got a fairly decent edge for a 440 crap steel $10 knife. It is now a duct taped work knife. Very comfy handle. Squeezy squeeze. This is by far another one of my just absolute favorites. Benchmade Onslaught. I don't know if you can see that right there, that little shinier piece on the blade. I got a Flitz metal polish kit, and what happened was a little rust somehow appeared on said blade, and I took it off, and it also destroyed that finish. But it's kind of like a little character to the knife, kind of like a scar. Some nice little story. It's still an amazing knife. When you hold this in your hands, you can feel the quality. You can feel the made in America in your hands. This thing, the quality is amazing. It's absolutely outstanding. The whole thing is put together like a dream. Skeletonite, this thing is just... I'll do a review on every knife here eventually, once I get a better camera and not my iTouch. But I'm actually thinking about getting a new blade, because you can do that with Benchmade. If you look at all their customer servicing, you may think that these knives are overpriced, but they're not. You're paying for the service, and they will actually replace every single part on this blade separately. I can buy a 154 cm Onslaught blade for like $30 and completely replace it. So if you're thinking about getting a Benchmade knife and the price has been just deterring you, these things are so worth it, because you have complete insurance on every single part on this knife. It's unbeatable. And then here is my baby. I am very Scottish and Irish, for those of you who do not know, which is all of you. This is the Cold Steel Dirk. It is 1055 steel, really freaking thick, and rosewood handle, brass inserts with blued steel. I forget how much this was, but this thing's amazing. I love it. I really do. This is my baby. I take this to the Renaissance Fair whenever I go. It's definitely a nice little talking piece. It's very, very forward heavy, blade heavy, like insanely. And I would hate to get stabbed with this thing. The point is just so cute. It would just go through like no other. It's insane. I love it. One of my favorites. If only I could carry this as an EDC, I definitely would. Although I highly doubt I would be allowed to. Yeah, try explaining that to the cops. Oh, I was just using it as an EDC. Cut me some rope with my 11-inch blade. Just big-ass fucking knife. Please don't arrest me. Well, this is the knife collection. There will be a review on every single one of these. Yay. But that's it. I'm now signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day, and if you're not, then there's always tomorrow.